Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a bonus reading for the sign of Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Leo, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes. I truly appreciate it. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers. I will never reach out to solicit for a private reading. I do offer private readings, and if you're interested in signing up for one of those or in making a donation, you can find that information in my Buy Me a Coffee link, my official Instagram and TikTok, all listed in the About section of my YouTube page, and I thank you so much in advance. Leo, I hope that you're doing well. I'm going to be using two decks for your reading today. The first one is the Chalks of King Congo Oracle deck, which was just gifted to me. Really beautiful, lush deck. And Nefertiti's Tarot, also a gift from my beautiful friends. I'm going to pull one card from the Chalks of King Congo, and then at the end I'll read from the book. The cards have been pre-shuffled. This is for Leo. Actually, one second, Leo. I forgot to light candles. It seems like an important part of the process. I think I was just excited to get the reading started. All right, we're good now. Well, let me burn some Palo Santo too. Ooh, the fire is popping. I don't know why all of that was out of order. And now the fire trucks are making a noise. Lots of weird things for your reading right now. I think I'm in a weird mood, Leo. That's okay. At the time that I'm filming this, it is Mercury retrograde, so that's par for the course. This is for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. One message from the Chalks of King Congo, please, for Leo. For Leo, please, Spirit. These cards are round, so they can be a little tricky to deal with. Thank you, Spirit. Beautiful card. It's so interesting. I just watched this the other day. Going back to the future. So cryptic in a way, isn't it? Going back to the future. I don't think this is a reference to the movie, although one could take it that way, as that movie is very famous. But it's this sense, you know, it's kind of a little confusing, right? How can we go back to the future? Well, if you are of the mindset that time is not linear, but rather everything exists all at once, simultaneously, then it's easy to kind of jump around within your own timeline. It's the sense that I think people tend to always wait. Oh, well, I'll do that next week, or I'll do that a year from now, or I'll do that when I have this amount of money, or when I'm in that relationship. I'll figure that out. And it's almost like Spirit is saying, the future is now. What are you waiting for? You know, I would not say that Leo is a fly by the seat of your pants kind of person. You're brave and you go in bravely, but I don't think you go in blindly. I wanted to put that out there. It's not about being spontaneous to the point of just flying by the seat of our pants and just throwing caution to the wind at all costs. I don't feel that. I feel as though you have a plan, but I feel as though you've had that plan for a while, and Spirit is saying, what are you waiting for? You have it figured out. It's just about kind of trusting yourself. Spirit's now showing me the Fool card in the tarot, the Major Arcana. The Fool card starts the tarot. It's taking that leap of faith, and it's going down this abyss, or this seeming abyss, but it's not an abyss at all. It is a jump, though. It is a portal. It's funny because for the water signs, they got very, I mean, this is a pretty spare card. They got even more spare cards in terms of the depiction, but this one is very perplexing. You know, it's kind of like a bouncy spring, a coiled up rope, a chasm. I feel something very mechanical with this. You know, have you ever, okay, maybe this is only me and kind of nerding out, but it's reminding me of watches, like the watch you wear on your wrist. I like ASMR videos, and so I tend to watch ASMR a lot. And sometimes I find myself watching watch repair. I know that sounds so boring, but if you like ASMR and stuff like that, then you will understand what I'm talking about. There's this one guy on Instagram. He usually fixes very high-end watches, or at least that's what he shows to his audience. So these Rolexes and such. And these watches have been through the ringer. I don't know what, like accidents, fires, God knows what. He takes them apart piece by piece by piece and cleans them or replaces them as needed. And by the end, the watch is brand new. This is significant for a couple of reasons. One, because Spirit is giving me the image of a watch. But two, that within the watch, there is a piece that looks exactly like this. It's kind of like a bouncy spring or coil that, I don't know what its specific purpose is, but everything inside a watch serves a purpose. Within that watch is controlled by quartz crystal, of course. Quartz crystal, you know, embedded with so much programming, energy. This particular one Spirit wanted me to show you. I didn't realize this when I bought this, but I don't know if you can see the angel, the natural formation inside the crystal. Looks like an angel to me. And when I bought it, I didn't realize it. I don't know why that's relevant, but it feels relevant. So it's kind of like taking all the constituent elements of time itself and trying to understand where you fit in all of that. What is your piece within the construct of time, right? It's very heady. I'm not really sure what it means, but I wanted to say all that. It's what Spirit wants me to say. It doesn't have to make sense to me. I hope it makes sense to somebody. But I feel that very strongly. Almost as if you are observing how time operates in your life. Maybe that's been brought up to you. Maybe you're constantly early or constantly late. Maybe you think you have more time than you actually do in certain scenarios. Maybe that has been a theme for you. And so now you are starting to observe it. When we start to observe something, it starts to change, right? That's quantum physics. So you could be really addressing these issues in your life right now, thinking about the passage of time. I'm going to pull 3 cards for the base spread, 3 cards for clarifier, past, present, and future. And at the end, a word of advice from Spirit. Beautiful. Got 2 9s in your reading. Past energy, 9 of Pentacles. So I can see you've been very diligently working on your pursuits, your projects, your business, the things that provide purpose is what Spirit just said. They give you purpose. 9 of Pentacles is a very independent energy. It's very abundant. This is known as the Pre-Empress card of the Minor Arcana. It simply means that we're tapping into our personal reserves of ingenuity and power, personal power. Things are moving in your favor, but it came with a lot of hard work. I hear that engine roaring by, right? It's just that you're revving up your engines. You're ready to go. I also see with these hands outstretched, it's almost like the hands are outstretched to the heavens, the sun. There's this sense here that you're tapping into, you're getting more in touch with your higher aspect, like your soul space. You are a sun-based sign. The Leo is represented by the sun. Almost like you're giving thanks. You understand that a lot of hard work went into your endeavors, but you're also in a space of gratitude, I think. Fortunate. You feel fortunate, at least in the past energy. It is clarified by the World card in the reverse, number 21, Major Arcana. The World card talks about chapters closing and new chapters beginning. You did get this card in reverse. It's funny, this figure here, it almost looks like a vessel or a cup of some kind. You know what this depiction reminds me of? I don't know if you've ever seen ancient, when I'm talking ancient, maps of the heavens. Those depictions of the heavens were represented by, you know, these kind of figures like this, these overarching figures. Again, it's this sense of paying homage to something above. She got this card in reverse. When the World card is in reverse, it means that we haven't quite closed out some cycles. There's some lingering issues. Thank you, Spirit. It's almost like Spirit was saying, oh boy, are there some lingering issues with Leo. I don't know what that has to do with. I'm going to ask for a clarifier, but it's a big deal. King of Swords in reverse. Could be dealing with a Gemini. King of Swords is somebody who is very discerning, can be quite clear in their communication. Actually represents Mercury, Gemini. But the card is in reverse. This is somebody in your life that may have a lot of authority. Spirit just showed me the words over you, question mark. Authority over you. Do they? That's what Spirit wants to say. Do you think they have authority over you? Do they? You sure about that? That's kind of what, it's kind of making my head tingle a little bit. Do they? Are you sure about that? King of Swords is usually a very learned person, an expert in their field. Sometimes a know-it-all. when the card is in reverse, it's the King of Swords in its debilitated state. So it's like arrogant, a know-it-all, but like not in a fun way. Because there's some people that can be know-it-alls, but like they just want to help people. But there are other people that are know-it-alls that are just, they want to one up you. They want to feel like they're better than you. So there's something here, kind of, I don't know if this was like a boss, an old boss, because I don't feel like you're necessarily dealing with them directly anymore. You are in this Nine of Pentacles, so you're independent. But I do feel like this thing that you have to reconcile or deal with, cut off, could be a difficult person to manage because they have a lot of authority or clout. This is in your past energy. In the present energy, the Hierophant, number 5 of the major arcana. This is Taurus energy. The Hierophant, also known as the Pope of the Tarot, can represent somebody who is a spiritual leader. This can represent marriage or high-level commitment as well. I don't feel like we're talking about marriage per se. It could be, but I feel as though here's that authority again. Do they have authority over you? Do they? The Hierophant serves as this in-between, this conduit between our worldly life, our 3D life, and the teachings of the spiritual world. They are usually someone who garners great respect. And perhaps you're consulting with such a person at this time. You are asking for advice or wise counsel. It's very restrictive though, because it's also a 5. It's like, okay, if you want to get out of this situation, you're going to have to like really follow the rules. Something about the rules. I see here this kind of X design on the figure. It's like the only thing I can see. Spirit won't like let it go. Something about 10. 10s usually represent endings. I talk about this movie all the time on my channel, but I just watched for the umpteenth time Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. And there's a big joke in the middle of the movie about X marks the spot. Because in the beginning of the movie, he said X rarely marks the spot to his class. Indiana Jones is a professor. And then later in the movie, X indeed was a signifier of something pretty profound. So it's a joke in the middle of the movie. And Spirit is showing that to me. Almost as if to say something so obvious right in front of your face that perhaps stubbornness did not allow you to see previously. It's almost like X marks the spot. It's right there on the floor, right there on the whatever. And you're just like, well, obviously not. That would be preposterous. And it's almost like Spirit is giving it to you. It's right here. Do you see? The answer is right here. And it's almost like you're saying, well, that's too obvious. It couldn't possibly be. The 6 of Pentacles to clarify the Hierophant. 6 of Pentacles talks about reciprocity and equal give and take. it also represents offerings from spirit. So it's like you putting things out into the world and spirit returning it back to you, although perhaps not in the method or from the person that you originally gave it to, right? So if you lend somebody money and they don't pay you back, that money could be returned to you from a different source. That's a very superficial example, but I think you understand what I mean. It's this sense, though, that I feel like you feel that you're owed. Almost like, when is it going to be my time, spirit? I've put so much out into the world, and when is it going to be my time? But the Six of Pentacles is in the upright, so I feel as though things will be coming in for you. Can I have a clarifier? What are those things? Another six. Six of Swords in the reverse. Six of Swords in the upright talks about moving forward away from chaos into calm, cutting out what no longer serves us. There's always a kind of quietness that I feel whenever I pull the Six of Swords. You can see here, this is not a motorboat, right? It's kind of, it's a ship that has a cloth sail, and it feels quiet. Even though there are a lot of people here, it feels quiet. You did get this card in the reverse, though. I asked for a clarifier. What is it that we're asking for in return? The Six of Swords in the reverse would suggest a kind of holding pattern. It then goes back to this idea of time. It's almost like you're putting forth something into the world to stall something. It's almost like you don't want to move forward quite yet, even though it might be good for you. There's something in your life where moving forward would mean true ending, right? The World card. Moving forward would mean true ending, and you're not quite ready because you've invested a lot. You haven't necessarily seen the dividends. This is very tricky energy, actually. You could feel confused about it, because I almost feel like Spirit is questioning, because Spirit is never confused, that's number one. But they're questioning you. What is it that you actually want? Do you want to move on? You keep saying that you do. But then you're working rather hard to delay something. Delay the inevitable. Why are you doing that? That is what the message is. You do what you want to do. Leo, okay? That's the message, right? In the present energy. Why are you delaying? Why are you stalling? What are you still trying to work out? Oh, it's interesting. Spirit just said, that's interesting. Spiritual bypassing. That's a very controversial topic in spiritual circles, right? Spiritual bypassing is like saying, like when bad things happen to good people, it's just saying, well, that's God's way. You just have to trust in God. That's God's way, right? Which is kind of true and not true at the same time, but it's almost like the idea of spiritual bypassing would be to kind of explain away something by saying that it was fate or destiny or what have you. I mean, it's a valid argument. Right? Can we as spiritual people say that in good conscience to somebody who is suffering? I just received some rather bad news about somebody that I really love and care for today. And Spirit is bringing that to my attention. That it's so easy to say, well, you know, this is just destiny and we're going to get through it, but it's just God's way. But to the person enduring that hardship, it's just like a big F you, right? So there is something about this topic that is relevant to you, that maybe you're looking towards teachings, spiritual explanations as to why things are happening or not happening. But I do see this delay. I see this stall. And you know what? You're going to move on when you're ready. Can I get a clarifier for all of this, the present energy, please? Yeah, I mean, I'm laughing because it's just like, Spirit just doesn't make mistakes when I pull cards. 3 of Swords in the reverse. The Heartbreak card. Agony. I don't usually say that word. Agony is a pretty strong word. So whatever it is that you went through, going through internally, it's really throwing you for a loop. And it's difficult to move on from it. 3 of Swords in reverse is like we're not moving past this heartbreak, heartache energy. So now this card feels a little different. It feels as though, you know, going back to the future, it's just like my future was so clear to me at one point in my life. And then all of this happened. And now it seems like I'll never attain what I set out in the beginning. Can't I just go back to that future? Can't I just go back to what I originally set out for myself? What I thought was going to be for my best and highest good? Can't I just go back? I don't think that's what we're going to read in this book, but that's what I'm picking up on for somebody. In the future potential, pretty nice energies. King of Pentacles in the upright, the Hermit in the upright. It's interesting though. It's almost like these are the same person going like this. Split between 2 different directions. King of Pentacles is earth energy, and it talks about somebody who is abundant, who is really at the top of their game. Thank you, Spirit. Lots of car honking. You are the King of Pentacles. That's what they're saying. This is not to say that you're not experiencing abundance right now, because I think you are experiencing a certain form of abundance. But this Hermit energy here, to clarify it, Spirit is saying money isn't everything. You can't take it with you. Sometimes love isn't enough, like sayings like that. And on paper, everything looks great. But there is what is required, and what you are recognizing is this deep, deep spiritual enlightenment, a spiritual ascension. That's the Hermit, Virgo energy. You're soul searching. Yeah, Five of Cups in the reverse. To clarify, there was a time when there could have been depression, sadness, isolation, and you're trying to lift yourself out of that energy. You recognize it though. That's why you're going to be in hermit mode. Something needs to change, and it starts with you. Can I get a card of advice from Spirit? The Page of Pentacles, Knave of Pentacles in reverse. For you, Spirit just said eager beaver. Before you start something new, close out everything that is old. It's almost like your response to pain is to just plow through it and push, 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 push. We got to keep going. We got to keep doing. And Spirit is saying, hold your horses. Allow yourself some time to close out those cycles before you start something new. I'm going to read from the book, Going Back to the Future. To go back to tradition is the first step forward. We build our futures on the foundations of our traditions. We look towards the medicines and the wisdoms of our ancestors and elders to guide us and to support us as we move forward. Learn, honor, and pass down the customs of your family lineage. We move backwards to move forwards. It's interesting. As the coil depicts, our energetic footprint is infinite. You will encounter cycles within cycles. Be patient with yourself. So that's your reading, Leo. I hope that it resonated. If it did, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Please hit the bell notification to be updated as to when I post new readings. Thank you, Leo.